What's up, Taiwan? Good evening. I'm Erika Liu with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan's kicking off military drills in the southern part of the country, aimed at hardening its coastal defense. This follows exercises that wrapped up over the weekend, which focused on anti-air capabilities. China is continuing to pressure the island, sending dozens of warplanes into Taiwan's defense identification zone. Jaime Yocon reports.
These are called Stingers. They're American-made anti-air missiles. Military officials say that this weapon will play a significant role in Taiwan's defense. The military practiced using the weapon this weekend on drones meant to represent enemy planes. These annual drills, known as Divine Bow, are focused on air defense.
实弹操演是我们训练非常重要的一环，不但可以增加官兵的实战经验，也可以让他们知道自己的强项跟弱点在哪里，加以改进。我想对我们的战力提升是有非常大的帮助的。
Last week, Taiwan scrambled its fighters and deployed missile defense systems as Chinese warplanes neared its airspace. China, which doesn't recognize Taiwan as a country, has not ruled out the use of force to take the island, and regularly flies warplanes into Taiwan's defense zone. With 250 more of these Stinger missiles expected to be delivered in 2026, the Divine Bow drill is one of many ways that Taiwan is keeping its forces alert and bolstering its combat readiness. Chris Ma and Jaime Ocon for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan Health Minister Chen Shizhong will no longer be chairing the daily COVID-19 press meetings. The Central Epidemic Command Center says Chen will only make an appearance for big policy announcements. Taiwan recorded almost 29,000 new COVID infections and 91 COVID-linked deaths on Monday. While the number of daily new cases is tailing off, the number of deaths has yet to follow. This has experts looking to data from countries that have seen their outbreaks ease. Experts warn that this COVID wave may not be the last, especially as Taiwan considers reopening its borders. But they say fatalities should subside in the coming weeks.
看他们的确诊高峰呢，相距到4个礼拜，这个是最长的。那其他国家的延迟呢，就是并没有，大概都是在这个范围之内。1月初到7月中的时候呢，应该就会降到这个双位数。
The outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic hit Taiwan's tourism and catering industry hard. One of the most affected spots in the country is the Shiling night market in Taipei. But organizers say the market was in decline even before the pandemic, and they're now working to regain the trust of local consumers. TaiwanPlus reporter Alice Chang has more.
This is one of Taiwan's most famous attractions, Shiling Night Market. It's not dark yet, but this vendor is already busy preparing food for the evening. Once a bustling scene, things have changed here since COVID-19.
生理甲以前差偌济？
差足济。
安怎讲？
无人啊，要安怎讲？
At its peak, Shiling Night Market attracted 100,000 visitors a day, many of them international tourists. This brought high profits to the vendors. But now, their average revenue is down 20 to 30%.
更惨啦！今天是礼拜日，好不好？礼拜日你有看到人啦？你平常我跟你讲了，现在都没什么人。
Nearly 300 vendors have been forced to close. That's almost 15% of stores. But the slowdown in the night market is not just because of the pandemic.
观光客一窝蜂进来之后，整个夜市就变掉了。当业者面对是附近的居民跟附近的学生，他会抱着做回头客的心态，东西会好吃，价格会便宜，分量会多。可是当他面对是国外观光客的时候，他的心态不一样，他认为这个是一次性消费，所以说就会抱着有一种不正确的心态在营业所以说这10几年自己做坏掉。
The market's reputation was also tainted by a controversy involving fruit sellers who overcharged foreign customers. The local government launched an investigation and fined the offending vendors.
就是之前给人家的印象不好，这个印象要再慢慢的回来需要时间。需要时间的话，就是说要透过办一些大型活动，吸引人家回来。那当他们再来逛士林夜市，再来这边消费的时候，觉得说，好像有以前那个味道了，变比较友善了。这希望说借由这样慢慢转型。
The once prosperous tourist spot may have suffered heavy losses, but Shiling Night Market is determined to rebuild its image and bring back the crowds. Alice Zheng for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan is hiking its electricity prices as the government grapples with rising energy costs caused by the war in Ukraine and the COVID pandemic. In the first price increase in 4 years, industrial users will see rates go up by 8.4% on average. For especially power-hungry industries, that number could be as high as 15%. But Taiwan's Vice Minister for Economics says households and small businesses will not be affected. Homes that use under 1,000 kilowatt hours per month are exempt from the price hike. So too are schools and businesses hit hard by the pandemic, such as restaurants, cinemas, and gyms. State-owned utility Taipower says the new prices will come into effect from July 1st. A new Taiwan encyclopedia was set to be launched on Monday in the United States at one of the biggest international gatherings for Taiwan scholars. The World Congress of Taiwan Studies is being held Monday to Wednesday at the University of Washington, Seattle. It brings together Taiwan-focused scholars from Asia Pacific, North America, and Europe. The Encyclopedia of Taiwan Studies includes sections on politics, sociology, women's studies, music, and art. The online edition will launch later this year, with a print edition to follow. Our reporter Louise Watt spoke to Xinhuang Michael Shao, the editor-in-chief of the encyclopedia.
Could you tell us, please, what is unique about this encyclopedia?
Well, the unique twofold. One is to show to the world academic community about the fruit, the product, the achievement of Taiwan study that has began in about 1990s. And secondly, to provide the Taiwan perspective of what, if you want to know about Taiwan, it is better to go through the Taiwanese perspective and the Taiwan eyes. I think rather than being shadowed by the past, the China studies or the sinological studies. In the past studies or publications, a lot of them were sort of haunted or affected or biased from the so-called pan-Chinese perspective. I think that is something wrong about that.
What are your aims with this encyclopedia? What are you hoping to achieve?
That we wanted to present to the world, especially community world, that what is the most proper and correct view to look at Taiwan's experience from the history to the contemporary modern period, while we have gone through the Taiwan experience. For example, we will talk about democratization, economic growth. We will talk about civil society. We will talk about the social diversity, ethnic relations. We will talk about the transformation. So I think the aim is to present a right way to look at Taiwan of its own right, of its own merit.
The women's team has won gold at the Archery World Cup Stage 3 in Paris. Taiwan beat India in the recurve finals on Sunday. The victory for Olympian Lei Qianying, Peng Jiamao, and Guo Ziying marked the team's first gold medal at this year's World Cup. In April, the trio won bronze in the same event at the Archery World Cup Stage 1 in Antalya, Turkey. The finals will take place in Mexico in October. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, today, we leave you with images of the annual Volkswagen Beetle Parade in Mexico City. This year, around 1,000 of the classic vehicles made their way through the city. I'm Erika Liu. Take care and see you next time.